Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into episode 2 of a fantastic technique for improving your English, shadowing practice. What is shadowing? Shadowing is a powerful way to boost your pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation in English. It's really simple. You listen to someone speaking English, and then you try to speak at the same time as them, mimicking their every sound, pause, and stress. Think of it like being a shadow. You're following closely behind, trying to match every move. For this exercise, I'm going to help you out a bit. I'll be speaking slowly and clearly, and I'll pause after each sentence. This will give you a chance to repeat what I've said, mimicking my pronunciation. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video and practice. The more you repeat, the better. Alright, let's get started. Listen carefully, and then try to repeat exactly what I say. Is it really possible to master a new skill in just 1 week? And my answer, with a resounding, confident, and perhaps a little bit audacious yes, is absolutely. Now, before you start thinking I've gone completely mad, let me clarify something crucial. When I say master, I don't necessarily mean becoming a world-renowned expert, capable of performing brain surgery after 7 days of YouTube tutorials, or composing a symphony in a week if you've never touched an instrument. No, what I mean by master in this context is reaching a level of competence and proficiency that allows you to confidently apply that skill, to build upon it, and to truly feel like you've grasped its fundamental principles and can perform it effectively. It's about achieving rapid, impactful progress that sets you up for long-term success. So, how do we achieve this seemingly impossible feat? How do we accelerate our learning to such an incredible degree? Well, it all comes down to a highly structured, intensely focused, and incredibly intentional approach. This isn't about passive consumption. It's about active, deliberate engagement. And I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step framework, a 7-day blueprint, that you can apply to virtually any skill you wish to acquire. Let's dive into day 1, the grand deep dive. This is your foundation. Your mission on day 1 is not to do the skill, not yet. Your mission is to understand the skill. It's about immersion. You need to gather every piece of information you can. What are the core components? What are the absolute essentials? If you're learning a language, what are the most common verbs, the key grammatical structures? If you're learning to code, what are the fundamental syntax rules, the basic data types? If you're learning to play a musical instrument, what are the basic scales, the simple chords? This is where you consume tutorials, read articles, watch demonstrations, and identify the absolute minimum viable knowledge required to even begin. Think of it like mapping out the territory before you start your journey. Spend a significant portion of your day here. Don't rush this. This understanding will inform every subsequent step. You're looking for patterns, for commonalities, for the underlying logic. You're building a mental model of the skill. Moving into day 2, the core mechanics. Now that you have a theoretical understanding, it's time to get your hands dirty, but strategically. On day 2, you're identifying and isolating the most crucial foundational movements or actions of your chosen skill. You're not trying to perform a complex sequence, you're breaking it down to its smallest, most impactful units. For instance, if you're learning to juggle, day 1 was understanding the theory of throwing and catching. Day 2 is about perfecting a single throw, perfecting a single catch. If you're learning to type faster, day 1 was understanding keyboard layout. Day 2 is about mastering the home row. You want to isolate these core mechanics and practice them obsessively. Repetition is key here, but it's deliberate repetition. Focus on perfect form even if it's slow. Speed comes later. Quality over quantity in these initial stages. You're building muscle memory, literally and figuratively. This is where you start to feel the skill in your hands, in your body, in your mind. Day 3. Structured practice and feedback loops. By now, you have a foundational understanding and you've practiced the core mechanics. Day 3 is where you start to combine those mechanics into small, manageable sequences or tasks. This is where structured practice comes into play. It's not just random repetition, it's practice with a clear goal in mind. And crucially, this is where you actively seek out and implement feedback. If you're learning a language, try constructing simple sentences and ask a native speaker or an online tool to correct you. If you're learning to draw, attempt a simple sketch and compare it to a reference, looking for areas of improvement. Record yourself if you're practicing a physical skill and analyze your form. The feedback loop is paramount. It allows you to identify your weaknesses and correct them immediately, preventing bad habits from forming. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, in fact, embrace them. Mistakes are data points, telling you where to focus your next efforts. As we transition into day 4, targeted weakness improvement. Having engaged in structured practice and received feedback, you'll undoubtedly have identified specific areas where you're struggling. Day 4 is dedicated entirely to these weaknesses. Don't shy away from them, attack them head-on. If your left hand is weaker in a musical piece, spend extra time practicing just with your left hand. If a particular grammatical tense is confusing, do exercises solely focused on that tense. This is not about broad practice. It's about highly concentrated, laser-focused effort on your personal pain points. This is where true mastery begins to emerge, not by avoiding your challenges, but by confronting and overcoming them. This day can be frustrating, but it's also incredibly rewarding as you see measurable improvement in areas that were previously holding you back. By day 5, you're ready for applied integration and problem solving. You've built the foundation, practiced the core, gotten feedback, and addressed your weaknesses. Now, it's time to put it all together in a more complex, real-world context. This is where you move beyond drills and into practical application. If you're learning to code, try building a small, complete program. If you're learning a language, try having a simple conversation. If you're learning to cook, attempt a full recipe. The goal here is not perfection, but completion. Can you get from start to finish? Where do you get stuck? This is where you encounter novel problems that require you to synthesize your knowledge and adapt. Don't be afraid to look up solutions, but try to solve them yourself first. This is where your understanding deepens, as you move from rote learning to true problem solving. Day 6. Performance under pressure and refinement. This is a crucial day for building confidence and solidifying your skills. On day 6, you want to put yourself in a situation where you need to perform the skill under a slight amount of pressure, or at least with an audience in mind. This could mean teaching someone else what you've learned, presenting your work, or even just setting a personal timer to complete a task. The idea is to simulate a real-world scenario where you need to deliver. This helps to expose any remaining gaps in your knowledge or execution. After this performance, dedicate time to intense refinement. What could you have done better? What felt clunky or inefficient? This is about polishing your technique, making it smoother, more automatic, and more efficient. This day solidifies the mastery aspect, moving beyond mere competence to a level of fluidity. And finally, day 7, the long-term vision and continuous improvement. Congratulations! You've reached the end of your incredibly intensive week. By now, you should have achieved a remarkable level of competence and proficiency in your chosen skill. But the journey doesn't end here. Day 7 is about two things: celebrating your incredible progress and, more importantly, establishing a plan for sustained growth. Mastery isn't a destination, it's a continuous journey. How will you integrate this new skill into your life? How will you continue to practice and learn? Will you join a community? Find a mentor? Set new, more advanced goals? This day is about looking forward, ensuring that the incredible effort you've put in over the last 6 days doesn't fade away. It's about making this skill a permanent part of your repertoire. Now, I know what some of you are thinking: this sounds incredibly intense. And you're absolutely right. This isn't a passive approach. It requires dedication, focus, and a willingness to push yourself. But the results, my friends, are nothing short of transformative. Imagine being able to confidently pick up any new skill and, within a mere 7 days, reach a level where you can genuinely use it, understand it, and build upon it. This framework is a powerful tool for accelerating your learning and unlocking your true potential. A few final tips to maximize your success throughout this intense week. Firstly, eliminate distractions. This is not the week for multitasking. Turn off notifications, create a dedicated learning environment, and protect your focus fiercely. Secondly, break down your learning sessions into manageable chunks. Don't try to cram 8 hours of continuous study. Work in focused sprints, perhaps 45 to 90 minutes at a time, with short breaks in between. This helps maintain concentration and prevents burnout. Thirdly, prioritize sleep and nutrition. Your brain needs rest to consolidate learning, and it needs fuel to perform at its peak. Don't neglect these fundamental aspects of well-being. Fourthly, maintain a positive mindset. There will be moments of frustration, moments where you feel stuck. Acknowledge them, but don't dwell on them. Remind yourself of your progress and your ultimate goal. Celebrate small victories along the way. And finally, be kind to yourself. This is a challenging endeavor, and every bit of effort counts. So, There you have it. The 7-day blueprint to mastering a new skill. It's ambitious, it's demanding, but it is undeniably effective. I challenge you to pick a skill, any skill, and dedicate the next 7 days to this process. You might be astounded by what you can achieve. Think about that skill you've always wanted to learn, that thing you've procrastinated on. Now is the time. Take this framework, apply it with ruthless focus, and watch as you unlock capabilities you never thought possible. I'd love to hear in the comments below what skill you're going to tackle first. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more transformative content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future insights. Remember, the power to learn, to grow, to master, is within all of us. Now go out there and make it happen. You've got this. That's it for our shadowing practice today. I hope you found this exercise helpful and the message inspiring. Remember, the key to shadowing is consistency. The more you practice, the more natural your English will sound.